There's some really good ones, like let's take a walk down the park and until the sun goes out.
Actually, I'm sorry.
Alright.
Alright.
Look at this
Speed.
overdrive. Who uses this?
Killer. Alright. Maxy, I got something I want to talk to you about. Are you listening?
Wait, what? What?
I have something I want to talk to you about.
Hold on.
No, close the book. Listen to me. I go away for 2 weeks. I give you the key to my shed.
Mm-hmm.
A nice warm gesture.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you repay me? It's trashed. It stinks. There's stuff written on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
There's beer bottles everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
My computer has no more hard drive space. Because you recorded all this junk.
Well. Slow down a second here. Let's not keep in mind, or I should say, let's keep in mind how much history has been laid down by our musical forefathers, if that makes any sense to you. Well, first,
What does this have to do with anything?
you just wait. I'm making kind of a strong connection here. Well, first, as you know, everything started 2 stories above this very building. And that's where it all started, you see. Straight out of the thin air, this, and that. So blah,
We
blah,
don't
blah,
need to
blah.
talk about this.
Yes, we do. Because all the data that was laid down there, first of all, I have every right to have the key to the shed. Unless if anybody else thinks that they do. But only because. But as soon as you left. Yeah, so as soon as you left, okay, and you gave me the keys to the shed and this, and that, and then you were always all in Utah. But what I did was, okay, I was in here recording, normal, like guitars, bass, a little bit of crazy vocals, just any idea I could come up with to try and spark any kind of a revolution, because right now we are living in a time of despair, an economic crisis, and a war that we can't get out of. Yes, we are the millennium children of the 2000 era. And I was in here trying to express the way I feel about this place, okay? But then Lando Calrissian gave me a call, and he goes, yes, I got 80s,
Who's this guy?
Well, you see, he's my assistant, sort of. He assists my level of higher consciousness. He's my assistant, basically. I go over there, I converse with him for a while, and he gives me advice that elevates my state of mind and consciousness, you see.
Yes.
He gives me tools,
like Michael?
tips. Yes.
Michael
Exactly.
and George?
Exactly.
All right.
But he's an expert, you see. He recently just graduated from Harvard and has a degree in psychiatry. So he understands the way the human mind works, and he prescribes me medicines that help me elevate that. And so yeah. Anyways, so this was a Thursday, and at 5:00 we have our appointments. Well, 5:30 actually. So he calls me at 5:30 and says, we have an appointment. Can you meet me in the parking lot He goes.
Did you lock up the shed?
Okay.
Did you turn it all
I
off?
almost forgot. Okay, I turned off all the lights. I left the computer running because I'm like, restarting
standby, or did you leave
computers.
it running?
I left it running. Well, the screensaver was on, so I count that as leaving it on standby. But it was only gonna be gone for a few moments. So I leave, and he goes, "Can you meet me in the parking lot of Winco?" And I go, "Why Winco? Why can't we just meet at your office or study or desk or whatever?"
Winco?
And he says, "Well, today is an experiment that I have for you." And I go, "Okay." So I left. Shed, lock, studio, half left open. So theoretically, any average Joe off the street could have walked in here.
It was latched, but it wasn't.
It was
locked.
latched, but it wasn't locked. You're right. Okay. So I go there. I meet him at Winco. I know, dumb mistake. But I go there. I meet him at Winco. And then he has me walk down the bread aisle. And what he does is he goes, "Take the wheat to your right." And I do so. And then he goes, "See those bagels over there?" And he called them bagels. I don't know why. And then he grabs them and he goes, "Now I want you to smash these together with your fists into one single ball of dough." Have you ever done that before? You know, like you squish bread together and get some involved. And so I do it, and he goes, okay. And he pulls out this long, large submarine sandwich-sized bread hoagie, and he goes, toss it down the plate. And I throw it, and he goes, yeah. And he swings it, and it hits the cashier lady, knocks her out. Ambulance comes, so we got to deal with all this bullshit, all this legal shit. And meanwhile, little do I know that there's a few strangers perusing around in this building. But I didn't know because I was over at Winco. Now, after this hour-and-a-half ordeal, I come back. I see the shed lock in the garden, and the dog is taking a piss on it. So I didn't want to touch it, you know. So then I open it up, and I see these little green men in overalls with elf spiked ears running around with hammers, smashing down the place, everything. So my immediate response was, what the fuck? And so I shut the door.
How tall were these things? Were they big?
Well, probably like 2 to 3 feet tall, 15 pounds tops.
What?
Big yellow eyes and large, like red, sharp vampire spiked teeth. And yeah, I was as shocked as anybody, and my initial response was, oh, let's call the cops. But I was like, I don't want to get the cops involved in this matter. I had the Winco incident. I was like, no, I'm going to take matters into my own hands. I'm going to take them into my own hands. So.
That's a good decision.
I ran upstairs. And, I mean, I've been over to this house, numerous times in the past. Probably 175.
No, 1,000 maybe.
1,000 maybe. And I have seen your father open up the safe to the guns,
Which one?
The one that's located in the furnace room. And I wrote down on a little notepad, the combination and everything.
Huh.
Just out of pure curiosity. You never know when you're going to need protection in a place.
That's a good one.
Doesn't matter how many people are here. So anyways, I did it, unlocked it. I pulled out the 12-gauge shotgun, and I ran down the little stairs. Now, Odie was there, and I tripped over her and fell flat on my face. Flat on my face. And then she starts licking my face. I'm like, get off of me.
She was bad breath, too.
Yeah, terrible.
Oh,
and I tossed a couple of Altoids in her mouth before I left. I open up the side door, run there, open up the shed, and I go, get ready to die, motherfuckers. But the men were gone.
Oh,
they were completely gone.
Really?
All that was left in the shed was butterflies, yellow and red butterflies.
Is that why there's
floating around?
Yellow poop stain.
Floating around, and everything was smashed to shit.
There
was about 10 hammers laying around, places smashed to shit.
Wow.
And butterflies floating around.
What were the hammers for?
I don't know. They just smashed the fucking place. I don't know. I didn't have a chance to talk to them. I don't know their fucking language. So then I had to hurry up, rebuild pretty much the entire. The drywall was smashed to shit. The drywall was smashed.
Did you redraw?
The ceiling was gone.
Did you rewrite?
Yes, I draw everything. They took blow torches to the entire fucking wall.
Oh my god.
The entire fucking wall. Yeah.
Oh my
and so I had to run down to Home Depot, grab all these tools, all these supplies, and everything, and rebuild everything. All this foam too. All this foam was sprayed with a caulking gun, and it was sticky like a fucking hand.
Or is this
This is brand new. I tried to pull it off, and then it started ripping my skin off. So I fucking tore everything down. I had to redo everything. Yes, I had to.
PPE, proper personal
protection? I wasn't, and I passed out because of the CO2 levels in this place. I had to pull out the old blueprints, the old design plans of this place that were stashed under your bed by the.
They're under my bed.
Yes, by the Nickelodeon magazine subscriptions.
How did you?
And it was just a hunch. It was just a hunch. Everybody hides everything they don't want anybody else to find under there. So that's where I looked because I knew you were gone, and I snuck into your room and I did that. So now I know the place is trashed. I know but this is the best restoration I could have possibly done given the circumstances that I was under. Yeah. So now, the number one question you got to ask is, why'd you give the directions to this place to those 5 hitchhikers that we picked up on the way to Mount Shasta last weekend on Thanksgiving?
How'd you know about that? Did they,
I was there, and you were shit-faced. I'm there in the passenger seat going, no, don't pick them up. And you're like, oh, yeah, they might be able to show us to a good party here because we're only here once a week. And you said
listen.
you have a recording studio, and you said they could come here.
All I wanted was a cigarette. And I thought maybe, well, these guys might have a smoke. So I pulled over, and they did. They did have some. I didn't think it would turn into that big ordeal.
Well, all I'm saying.
It wasn't my fault.
All I'm saying.
I was just drunk.
Is you told them. They told whoever the fuck. And they told these little green monsters, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, who turn into butterflies. These little vermin. These fucking mice that come in here and run around and play like they're running on a fucking hamster wheel, and they smash everything to shit, and they burn all the master copies of everything we've ever done. So now we have to redocument everything we've done starting now. So in 5 minutes we are going to reenact every past recording we have done since the age of 7 or 8. So get into your childlike mind state, because in approximately 5 minutes we are going to jump into our childlike characters and run around this place like we have no concept of musical arrangement. That's just how it's going to be. I mean, well, if you have an ulterior motive or something, let me know. Let me know. That's
the thing is, I have a couple questions. Did anything happen to the foundation of this place?
Well,
because
that's funny you say that, actually.
Because it's kind of like
well, you know the tectonic plates that we're on, right? Anesthesia and Pharmacia.
I thought it was just 20 yards over there.
No, while you were gone, they actually split and rubbed against each other, and we had actually a Category 8 earthquake here and a tsunami that reached the It was fucking crazy. That's why when you walk outside, there's that split sidewalk and everything, and even the road is crooked and split. It's like you got a new fucking speed bump halfway down the middle of the road. So if you start swerving, boop, there's a speed bump. Swerve again, boop, there's a speed bump. Swerve again, boop, there's nothing you can do about it. That's just how they did it.
So we have to redocument everything we've ever done.
Basically, yes. If we want to preserve the legacy and history that we need to move forward. That's what I think anyways. And that's what happened. That's the solution. That's the future. That's
exploring Dreamworld.
Where'd my scarf go? Let's do it. We did that. Man, that's crazy.